Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the Kenyan Shilling. Somewhere I went earlier this year. Had an amazing time, although we were only there for a few days and unfortunately didn't get the opportunity to go to Nairobi National Park or any of the other bigger national parks that we'd intended. We had to sort of leave after a short period of time. Unfortunately, one of our group members nearly got arrested. Turns out that, unbeknown to us, you're not allowed to record stuff in Nairobi city centre. They actually grabbed him by the arm and said, "You're coming with us." Then, luckily, the hotel staff and the taxi driver came to the rescue and said, "Look, they're tourists and they don't know what they're doing." I mean, I don't know if that is a thing, but it was a very awkward time because there'd recently been an attack. And I guess based on that, they were very sort of edgy and cautious. But luckily, he was saved, and we managed to do various bits and pieces when we were out there. And one of them was get hold of some shillings. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the 1 shilling coin. I thought I'd had it, but clearly I don't. Now, if there are any other coins out there that I'm missing, let me know. And I'll try and pick one up, but probably have to go all the way back to Kenya to pick up the 1 shilling coin, assuming they actually have one. So this is 5 shillings. That's Jomo Kenyatta, first president of Kenya. You have a much newer coin here, Republic of Kenya. This is the 10 shilling coin. Again, Jomo Kenyatta featuring on the obverse. Sorry, on the front. And here we have a much. Actually, 2010. They're both from 2010, but one is absolutely worn out. The other one seems to be brand new. It's strange. Okay, moving on to the notes. I like the material they're using here, the paper. It seems to be a much better quality than many I've seen around the world. And also the design of the currency I quite like. You can see the sort of the greenish, the reddish and the black. That's actually the same colours as the Kenyan flag, for those that don't know. And there's the man himself again, Jomo Kenyatta, the first president of Kenya, who basically features on all the notes. Switching it over. Now, we stayed around Nairobi, but if you go further north or maybe further east, places like Mombasa, I'm sure you'll see camels. Where we were staying, it was mostly sort of savannah. I'm not sure where this is. I don't think we saw this place when we were out there. If you know where it is, let me know. That's 50 shillings. Exchange rate when we were out there was about 130 shillings for £1, so it was very good. We found most things to be very affordable and quite cheap. There's some really good restaurants out there. So I tried various African cuisines. The strange thing was the area we stayed in was actually full of Somalian people. Was very surprised, quite surprised by that. So here we have the 100 shillings, so it's less than £1. Again, similar kind of style, similar colours used. You can see here the colours of the Kenyan flag. Yeah, we were quite near this building here, although we didn't go to the top. I'm not sure which mountain range that is. Probably, I forgot the name of the mountain now. Is it Mount Kenya? No. Completely forgotten the name of the mountain. I'm sure it'll come back to me eventually. Kilimanjaro, that's it, I think. Kilimanjaro. We saw Kilimanjaro from Tanzania. It's actually in the Tanzanian side and not the Kenyan side. When we were actually sorting out the visas, when I rang the Kenyan embassy, the chap on the phone was convinced that Arusha was in Kenya, and that in order to get to Mount Kilimanjaro, you have to go via Kenya. And I'm like, no. Checked on the map, it's definitely on the Tanzanian side, and Arusha is definitely in Tanzania. Now, I don't know if that chap at the embassy was just like hired, or, either way, his geography was terrible. That's interesting. Colours are slightly duller here, but you can make it out. The red, the green and the black. So this is about, sorry for the focus. So this is about a couple of pounds, I think. This is a cotton plantation. Here we have my favourite design, my favourite colour. This is a lot more vibrant, I think, the 500. Even though they all appear to be exactly the same, there's slight variations in colour. You can see here, without a doubt, green, red, black. So the front of the notes are all pretty much the same. It's just the slightest differences in the backs. I guess these are all famous landmarks in Kenya. So that's worth about a £5, I think. Here we have the big one, the 1000. Elephants. That's it, folks. Kenyan shillings. Go to Kenya.